Hello everyone, welcome to AWS data engineering classes. So in our previous weeks we explored about AWS services, and this week we are starting with Python. So we'll start with Python basics. Tomorrow we'll talk about a little bit of advanced topics about Python, and after that we'll talk about PySpark. Okay. So before we do anything practically on Python, first of all Python should be installed on our system, right? If you are on any Mac or any Linux based OS, you can install Python very easily with the help of a command. You simply go to Google and type like command for installing Python on Mac, and you can install it easily. If you're on Windows, you can download the installer package, and then you can install it. Yesterday we downloaded the Python installer from Python official website, and we installed it, but still we faced some issue. I have figured that out, and now I will show you how to install that again so that you understand it. So there is a file, Python executable file. Let me figure that out. It's here, this one, which we downloaded yesterday. I will double click on this. So yesterday we went with this option, install now, which is installing into my home folder, app data local something something, and somehow we could not fix that. So as a solution, we will go with a customized installation so that we have better control, like where it is installing, what is the path, and there are a few more options which we can check, and that will fix the issue. Okay. So we want documentation, pip installation, and just, I mean, whatever is selected, let's go with that. Click on next. Okay. In this one I added few things. One is add Python to environment variable, because we were not able to find the path, and because of that it was not recognizing that Python command. So I will do this, install Python 3.13 for all users, add Python to environment variable. Apart from that, other things are not required. Okay. Click on install. Okay. So let's wait for 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, few seconds, and it should be ready.
Do you always have to go with the latest version, or like you can have multiple versions installed on the box and maintain that way too?
We can have multiple versions as well, but usually we should go with the latest version. Going with multiple version will again make it more complicated. You have to maintain different type of variables and all, and that can conflict somewhere, that can create some confusion. So better to go with only one particular version, whichever is the latest stable version, because sometimes latest version you can find which are not stable. So always go with the stable version. This is the path. uh, I simply went to Google and did like download python.org. This is the path, and let me save this link in the chat box, or I can even send on the WhatsApp group also later.
Yeah,
In a
thank you.
real world scenario, do they change the versions often, or they just keep the same thing?
No, we don't change the version very frequently. That's not required until or unless suppose there is some feature which is not supported with your current version of Python. Only in that case you may have to download the higher version. Otherwise, if everything is going fine, you don't have to change it like very frequently. That's not required. Okay, I have sent in the WhatsApp. You can refer it to later. Okay, so coming back to installer, it's still going on. Okay, in the meantime, I will open my Visual Studio Code, or any editor is fine, but Visual Studio Code we have installed, right? This is my test repo. Let's do one more thing. We can create one more folder. Okay, so create file, and do we have open folder option here? New file. Okay, let me create one more folder somewhere. We have a documents, and inside the GitHub we have a Git repo, right? Let's outside of this I will create one more folder. Mm, you can create anywhere. Okay, I would say Python tutorial. Okay, and let's open this folder. Inside this one, file, open folder, uh, go to documents, and here you will find where is that Python tutorial. It's here. Okay, and open it. Okay, so Python tutorial has opened and it has nothing as of now, as you can see. So we will create our first file here. Click new file, give some name. Mm, any name you can give. I will give sample code.py. All Python files should end with .py. Okay. As of now, there is no code. So we'll write some lines. But before that, let me quickly check my Python is installed. Okay, perfect. You see this setup was successful. Click on close. Okay. Now in this one, we can open a terminal. And how to do that? Let me check. Terminal, new terminal. Okay, and yesterday we were typing python hyphen version, which was failing, right? You can see now there is no error today. Python version is 3.13.1. This is the command for checking the version. If you want to run a python file, then python space your file name. So as of now the file is there, sample underscore code.py, but there is nothing, right? To start with, we will start with very simple thing. Start with a print statement. So write print in the bracket, put a message, welcome to Python coding. Okay, that's all. I have, this is a, you can say, simplest and smallest Java program. Sorry, a Python program with a single print statement. It's not only about printing, because from very first day of the training, whenever we talked about Python code, I always written the print statement, right? But Python is not only about printing. There are a lot of other stuff which we can do. So since earlier classes were not for Python, those were for others purpose. Today's class is specifically for Python, so we will talk about many more stuff. But let's start with this. How to run this? So we have verified that Python is successfully installed. Let's verify that whether we are able to run any Python code or not. If it works fine, we are good. We will keep on making some changes and we will keep on executing. Yesterday, because Python was not installed and whatever that AWS Cloud Shell was there, it was not giving us the option for editor. And without editor, it won't be good, right? So type Python and your file name, samplecode.py, enter. And you can see that. Welcome to Python coding, right? It's working perfectly. Okay. So we will be talking about few more concepts. I will show everything practically. But before that, I would like to take a pause here. In case you're having any doubt on the downloading part, installing part, or how to set up this folder or Visual Studio Code, any doubt you have, you can ask.
So the Visual Studio was, okay, probably missed the first 10 minutes yesterday. So is it like a straightforward or anything? Do you have to
No, no, no.
configure
It's
anything for the Visual Studio?
simple, very straightforward. You simply go to Google and type download Visual Studio Code, or in short, you can type VS Code.
Okay.
Okay, and just download it and install it. That's all. So this gives a flexibility. It has many integration as well. You can directly integrate it with Git also, and the code editor is there. You can open multiple files. So your folder structure, your editor, your executable terminal, everything is on the same page. I mean, that's the ultimate benefit. Okay, let me come back to PDF and we'll see what is the agenda for today's class. So the agenda is overview of Python. First Python program, data types, create a function, local and global variables, and a for loop. No need to remember anything. We will talk about each and everything in detail and we'll do it practically. Starting with Python. Python is easy to code. Anyone can learn to code in Python in just a few days. If I compare it with other programming languages like C, C++, Node.js, Java, Python is quite simple. And the number of lines which we write, right, those are very limited. For example, I have to print some message. So I just write in one line, print statement, right? If you have to achieve the same thing in Java, you may have to write at least 4 to 5 lines. So it's quite easy to learn. easy to read. Python code looks like simple English words. There is no use of semicolon or brackets. Again, if I compare with Java, you have to put opening bracket, closing bracket, and after every line you have to put semicolon. So you have to take care of all that stuff. In Python, those things are not required. We don't use any opening or closing brackets, neither the semicolon is required at the end of every line. But one small thing is there, Python is very sensitive to indentation. I will show you shortly. If you will make any extra space or less space in indentation, your Python code will not work. I will show you. You will understand. Okay. The next point is free. Python is completely free of cost available. You can download the Python for your personal purpose, learning purpose, or even for your enterprise and official purpose. There is no charges. You can use that. It's portable. You can write the code on Windows system and run on Mac system. It's not platform dependent code. Suppose usually for development, suppose company has given you Windows desktop, right? And you are doing your development work and you have written your code, you have tested it, everything is working fine. Now you will be deploying that code. And it may be possible. Usually the deployment is always happens on Linux server, not on Windows. Sometime, I'm not talking about Python, but other programming language, right? Sometime if you are testing and developing your code on one platform and you are deploying it on a different platform, it will create some problem. It will say that path not found, library not found, this thing is not supported on that. Lot of challenges will be there. But Python is fully portable. It's independent of your operating system. So suppose I am using Windows. I will write some code here, I will test it, and I will share that code with you. And if you are using Mac OS, that code will work without any challenge. That's the point of portable. Finally, libraries. It's not required to do each and everything from beginning and from scratch. There are many things which are pluggable. Like for example, you want to do something on data analytics. So in data analytics, there can be different type of algorithm, right? If you are doing some mathematical computation, there are a lot of formulas. If you are doing something on graphics, there can be some lot of other formulas. So for different type of requirement, different type of your problem statement, there are different free libraries are already available. Suppose you want to do something on machine learning, on AI. So libraries are available which you can import and which you can use. If you remember, there was a class code build last week. In the code build, I was specifying that pip install pandas and numpy, right? Pandas and numpy are Python libraries, and the good part is those are free of cost available. Some developer just like you and me, someone might have created some reusable components and they have uploaded those libraries over internet, and anyone can import them, anyone can use them without paying anything. So it will make your day-to-day life easy. It will make your coding simpler. You don't have to write everything from scratch. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay, so these are few features of Python, and how to install Python that we have already done. You will not find any slide here for Python installation because till my last batch we were using Cloud 9, and Cloud 9 comes with pre-installed softwares. So we simply launch Cloud 9 and start coding. But since now Cloud 9 is not available, you have to make sure that you have to install Python first, then only you can do coding. Okay. So you can see here, this is our first program. You can create any file with your preferred name. Definitely should end with .py and start with some print statement. Welcome to Python programming, and you can run it, and you can see that output is displayed here. Okay. So let's see what is next. Next is data types. In SQL, right? There are data types. You are declaring a column employee ID, employee first name, employee age, employee salary, year of experience, manager name. So there are different type of data type. That can be integer, that can be float, that can be double, that can be boolean, that can be varchar, right? Same concept is there in any programming language. Not only Python, but Java, C, C++. And I will tell you one more thing. All programming languages are similar almost. Only concept can, I mean, only the syntax can be different. Just like we speak different languages, Hindi, English, Punjabi, Telugu, Tamil, right? We can communicate the message, to your friend, to your family members in different languages, and meaning will be almost same. Similarly, C, C++, Java, Node.js, Python, the purpose is same. Only difference is there can be some limitation of one programming language. There can be some good features about another programming language. That can be that's one difference. Another difference is, like, in one programming language you may have to write multiple lines of code, and to achieve the same thing in another language you can have only one line. That's also possible. Python is like that. The same line of code you have to write in Java, it will take around 10 lines. The same thing in Python you can achieve in one or two lines. Okay, but the concept will remain same. I will, once we will proceed step by step, I will explain that. So data type in Java, if you declare a variable, you have to declare the data type also. You have to tell that this is my variable, suppose age, and the type is integer. But Python is quite smart. Python, you simply declare the variable and you don't have to worry about data type. Why? Because Python will automatically figure out the data type from the data. For example, you see here, name is equal to Neeraj, which is in single quotes. I did not declare what is the data type of name. Name is the variable name. After that, I declared another variable, age is equal to 32. I again did not declare the data type of age. But from the value itself, it will automatically figure out that the name is of type text, or in SQL words, you can say varchar. And the data type of age is integer, or you can say number. It will automatically figure out. Okay. So let's do this. You will understand. I will go back to my Visual Studio Code. So what I will do is we will modify the same code. Okay. I will declare some variable. Maybe if you want, I can declare the same. Name is equal to single quotes Neeraj. Okay. And another variable, I would say is equal to 34. Okay. Now, if you want to print these variables, how to do that? So if you have a hard coded message, for example, I typed welcome to Python coding, I enclosed within single quotes, right? If it's a hard coded message, enclosed in a single quotes. If it's not a hard coded message, simply put that variable name. For example, I would say print, okay, and I will hard code it. I would say my name is, after that, plus, and the variable name. Okay, you will notice one thing, that my name is in single quotes, because it will display as it is whatever I will type. But name that is not in single quotes, that's a variable name. That means at runtime, when you will run this code, it will be replaced by the value of this variable, and the value of this variable is Neeraj. So ultimately it will display my name is Neeraj. Let's try that out. First of all, I will save this. I will come down. I will execute the same command, and you can see this. My name is Neeraj. Okay. Let's try another thing. I would say my age is this, and let's see whether it will display or not. I will copy this, Control C, Control V, and I would say my age is, and here I will put age. Okay, save this code, Control S, come down, run this code, and you see that it is filling. Welcome to Python coding. It's working fine. That first line, right? And second line, my name is Neeraj. That's also working fine. But the third one, this one, my age is this, it is failing. Why? Let's look at the error message. It is saying type error, can only concatenate string, not int to string. This one is string, right? Whatever is enclosed in single quotes, that's a string. String means text. And this one was text, right? So text can be concatenated with text, that will work fine. That's why my name is Neeraj is working perfectly fine. But when you are concatenating the text and a numerical value, it's failing. That's what it is saying, can only concatenate string, not int. Okay, so I will tell you the solution. Before that, we have a question on the chat. Let me quickly check that out. So Niranjan is asking that, is it case sensitive? Yes, absolutely. The print statement, whatever I'm typing P, right, that should be small, not capital. Everything is case sensitive. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming to the solution of this problem, when it is saying can concatenate only string not integer, so we can convert this integer to string. And how to do that? Put str bracket and one more bracket. Okay, so what we are doing is we are converting that number into a string, and now it becomes string, and now it can be concatenated with this string. It will run this, you will not get any error, and you can see this. Welcome to Python coding. My name is Neeraj. My age is 34. It's working perfectly fine. Okay. If you want to do some calculation, for example, I would like to multiply by my age by 2. So multiply is denoted by star in programming, any programming language. Put star and 2. Okay. Save it and let's run it. It will double the date, age. See that my age is 68. If you suppose you want to multiply this name by um, something, what it will do? Number can be multiplied. I mean, I multiplied 34 by 2, it became 68. But I can even try something with name and you will be surprised. Name star 5. Okay, I'm multiplying my name by 5. Let's see what happens. First of all, I will clear my screen. So you can press Control L, that's a shortcut. Okay, so I will execute my code, and you can see that Neeraj is printed 5 times. Neeraj, 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 Neeraj. If you want to add space, let's give the space here, here. Okay, so that it display with space. So I have given space here, and now I will run the code again, and you see now my name is Neeraj, 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 right? So when you multiply some text with some number, it will display that those many times. If you are multiplying some numerical value with any number, it will do actual multiplication and the result will be displayed. Okay. Once you will start coding, you will find it very interesting. You will love it. So before we jump to the next slide, any doubt till now? Okay, there is no doubt. We are good. So either you can type clear, I mean CLEAR, either you can do like this, it will clear your screen, or as a shortcut, you can use Control L. Control L is a universal shortcut for any terminal, not only Python, any programming language, shell scripting, Python, anything, AWS. Control L is very handy. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Let's see what next. Next one is what? Function. Okay, function is there. So I will come back. So if I have to do something at one time, I can type some code, right? Suppose I have to print my name is Neeraj one time. So I can do one time. But sometime you have to do a group of things, and that group of things you have to do multiple times. So instead of writing those, let me explain you. Suppose there are 5 lines. You are calculating something, you are printing something. Those set of 5 lines you have to do at different places, different code, right? Suppose tomorrow there is a small change. What should I do? I have to go at different places and make those changes. Instead of that, we can create a function and we can call that function at multiple places. So the function definition is available at one place, and later on, if you have to make some change, you have to make the change only in one place, not many places. I will show you that. So what I will do is I will define one function. How to define a function? Def means defining a function, and function name, anything. I would say calculate interest. Calculate interest. Okay, and then like this, then colon and enter. Calculate interest is a function name, and inside that you can write anything. And you will notice one thing: the cursor has automatically become just ahead of the beginning. It's not in the beginning. That is indentation. When you're defining a function, your next line will come like tab, you can say tab can be four spaces or eight spaces depending upon your settings. Okay, so you can see here space is 4, indentation is selected as 4, so that is okay. What we will do is I will write something, some message. Okay, I will say print, and I will say calculating interest. I'm just writing one line. Okay, I will add one more line, print, and total interest is equal to, and we will put some value. Okay, and what I will do is I will declare some rate of interest here. For example, ROI, rate of interest, is equal to 8.4. Okay, and let's declare few more things. Principal amount is equal to, suppose, 1000, and tenure, suppose 3 years, and rate of interest is this. Okay, so how to calculate the interest? We have to calculate, right? I would say interest, some variable, is equal to principal multiplied by tenure multiplied by ROI and divide by 100, right? Close in a bracket, slash divide by 100. That would be my interest. Okay, and after that, total interest is equal to, copy this variable, we'll put a plus, but plus here, and this one. And it may break because interest would be definitely calculated as some numerical value. So I will enclose this in string function, otherwise it will fail. So what I will do is I will put str. Okay, I'm just taking very simple example. You can have many more complex functions. Okay, I will do control S. Good. And now I will call this function. Okay, defining the function will not do anything. We have just defined the function, we are not calling it. You have to call this function. How to call it? You come down and you simply call this calculate interest. Control C, control V, opening and closing bracket, and that's all. This colon will not come. When you put colon means you are defining the function. When you're not putting colon means you are calling that function. So we are calling it. Control S, come down, and let's run it. Python and your file name, run it. Okay, perfect. My name is Neeraj. Okay, we can remove those lines later. Ignore these first two lines. Okay, calculating interest, total interest is equal to 252. You can check it out later. Most probably it should be like that only. Okay, now I have called it at one place, right? Suppose I have to call it multiple places. 2, 3, 4. I am calling it 4 times. Okay. Suppose I have to make some change. Tomorrow government says that okay, rate of interest has increased from 8.4 to 8.8. Then then I have to make the definition change only at one place. I will not make any change in these four places. It will automatically reflect. Let's check it out. I will run this code and you will see that. You can see that. Total interest 264.00 something. If you want to round off, you can use some round off function as well. Okay, there are many functions available. You can use the round off function to do that. So the point is, when you are creating any function, you can have the better control. Tomorrow, if there is any change, you have to make the change at one place. Now let's do one more thing. Right now, this function is not taking any parameter, right? Everything is hard coded. Principal, tenure, everything is hard coded. Maybe you would give the flexibility to the end user who is calling the function. They should be able to pass the principal and tenure, right? So what I will do is I will pass that as a parameter, principal, okay, tenure, and ROI, rate of interest, and I will remove 3 lines from here. These 3 lines I will remove. Okay, that means whoever is calling the function, they have to provide, and accordingly it will give you the result. Now if you will try to run it, it will break. I will show you. If you will run this code, it will fail. You see that. It is saying calculate interest missing three required positional arguments: principal, tenure, and ROI. That means this function is expecting that the user who is calling, they should provide the principal amount, tenure, and rate of interest. Since we are not passed anything, it's failing. So what we will do is we will pass something. Okay. So let me remove two. We'll keep only two. Okay. So I will pass principal amount 1000, tenure 2 years, rate of interest anything 9.2. Next one, my principal amount suppose 500, year is 4 years, and rate of interest is 7.5. Okay, so function is same. I'm passing different arguments, definitely result will be different. So I will save this, come back, clear screen, run it, and you can see that calculating interest, total interest is 184, and second one is 150. Okay, one more thing is there. Suppose rate of interest, sometime people may not be aware, because people are not deciding authority for rate of interest, right? They can decide how much of money they want to put and how much duration they want to keep, but rate of interest sometime they are not aware. What you can do is, while defining the function, you can define some default value of rate of interest. So I would give rate of interest is equal to 8.4. 8.4. Okay, in this case you may be thinking, if I have already declared rate of interest here and I will passing it again here, then what does it mean? It means that rate of interest, if you pass, it will take yours. If you don't pass, it will take the default one. So what I will do is I will remove the 7.5. Okay, like this. Although calculate interest function expecting three arguments, but the third argument, rate of interest, is completely optional. That means if you provide, it's well and good. If you're not providing, it will automatically take this 8.4. Let's run this and you will understand. Okay, so I will run this code again, and you can see that it's not failing, right? The first interest is calculated based upon 9.2 rate of interest. Let's do one thing. Let me put same value so that you will understand. 1000, and tenure is 2 years. Okay, so in the first one, 1000 is the principal amount, 2 years, and rate of interest 9.2. In second one, I did not provide the rate of interest. That means it will take automatically the default one, that is 8.4. Let's run this and you will understand. You can see this. First is 184 and second one is 168. Because rate of interest for the second one is default, that is 8.4, and for the first one it's the 9.2. Okay, so this way you can create a function. I have shown you different variant. One variant is you can create a function without any argument, that you can do. Second variant is you can pass some input arguments and accordingly your function will behave. Third variant is you can have some default value for some variables. That means when you're calling those functions, even if you're not passing any value, even that's fine, that will work. Okay, there can be, you can call one function from another function, that also you can do. Let me show you. Yeah, let's go. I will define one more function. I will say def display greeting. Okay, I'm just putting some name, colon, and here I will say print. I would say welcome to HDFC Bank. Okay, I'm just putting some message, and we are happy to help you. Okay, I'm putting some message. Okay, now this function display grading, either you can call outside, that you can definitely do, but you can even call this function from another function. So from this one, calculate interest, I will call this function display greeting. So I will copy this and I will put it here, display greeting. Since I'm calling it, I will not put colon. Okay, we are good now. Control S. Let me comment these two lines. I will not remove, I will just comment it. You can put hash in the beginning and those lines will be commented. That means it will not be executed. Later on, if required, I can uncomment this. Okay, Control S. So now I'm defining one function, I'm defining another function, and finally I'm calling this function, right? Let me remove this one. We will call only once. Okay, And now let's do it. You can see that. Welcome to Python coding. That's coming from this line. Okay. After that, welcome to HDFC Bank. We are happy to help. That's coming from this one. Basically, we called calculate interest, but from that, display greeting is called. It will go to display greeting. Then these line will be printed. After that, it will continue from here. It will come back to line number 17. Calculating interest. Total interest is equal to this. Okay. I hope you understood. Any doubt? So you're finding this boring or interesting?
It's interesting.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Let's move to the next slide. We'll see what is next. Okay. Next is global and local variable. What do we mean by that? Inside a function, if you are declaring something, that would be your local variable. And outside of the function, whatever you're declaring, that is global variable. And I will show you how does it make a difference. I will come back to our code and let's do one thing. To keep it simple, I will remove few stuff. I will remove this completely. I will definitely remove this. It will fail if you try to run it. It will fail. Why? Because you are calling a display greeting function which is not there. You see this display greeting is not defined. So I will remove this line. Otherwise, it will break. Okay. What I will do is we declared the rate of interest inside the sum function, right? And we can declare outside also, and it will take accordingly. For example, let just give me a moment. I will take another function and I will remove this one. Rate of interest, let me remove it. We'll keep it quite simple. Okay. What I will do is I will put some variable here. Name is equal to Gita. Okay. And what we will do is we would say welcome. Okay. Slash plus name variable plus like this. Okay. What we are expecting is it should say welcome Geeta to HDFC Bank. That's why I have put 2 plus, because this is hard coded. Whatever is in single quote is hard coded. To HDFC Bank, that's what hard coded. In between there is a variable, so I have put a plus here and plus here. So it's concatenating three things: this hard coded message plus name plus this hard coded message. Okay. Now you will notice that name is declared at two places. Name is equal to Geeta, name is equal to Neeraj, and it's not complaining. It's not giving any error because this name is declared locally inside the function, and this name is declared outside. So if I will print name here, it will display Geeta, and if I will print the name outside, it will display Neeraj. Suppose I would say print. Let me copy the complete line. I will copy the complete line, Control C. I will put it here. Whatever is the indentation, you can see this. Whatever is the indented part, that is part of this function. Whatever is not indented, that is not part of this function. So this print statement is definitely not part of this function. It's outside. But this print statement is part of this function. So statement is same, but it will display two different results. Okay. I will remove this. Instead, I will call this function. Okay. And let's see what will happen. See that? Welcome to Python coding, because it will start from the top. Welcome to Python coding. After that, declaring two variable. Declaring will not do anything. It will not print. So it will not do anything. After that, you are defining a function. As I told you, defining the function will not do anything until or unless you are not calling it. Nothing will happen. After that, print statement. Welcome name to HDFC Bank. This name is referring to the outer variable Neeraj. It has no idea about this inner variable. That's why it is saying welcome Neeraj to HDFC Bank. And then when I'm printing outside, when I'm calling display greeting function, it's going inside that name is equal to declared again with the new value Geeta. This time it will refer to the local value, not the outer value. That's why it is saying welcome Geeta to HDFC Bank. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Any doubt on this?
No.
Okay. So sometime you can declare some global, suppose rate of interest, global rate of interest, that will be applicable to everything. But sometime For a special scenario, you would like to override that. You would say, no, for this particular scenario, rate of interest should be this one. You can use the same variable, it will not complain, and automatically it will be taking the local value. But if you are outside of that function, it has no idea about the local variable, it will definitely refer to your older outer variable. And suppose outer is not available, it will definitely fail. Suppose I will comment this line. Okay, I will comment this. In that case, this will break. You can see that it's giving a warning. But forget about warning. Suppose you did not pay attention to the warning and you simply try to run your code, it will fail. Try this. You can see that. Welcome name to HDFC Bank. It has no idea about name. Although name is declared, but name is declared inside the function. Outside of this function, there is no scope. There is no visibility. And there is no, you can say, global variable. So it's failing. Why it was not failing earlier? Because name was declared as a global variable as well as a local variable. So it's printing locally, it's printing globally. Okay, that's all about local and global variable. I'm coming back to slide. So once you do it on your system with your hands, you will get more clarity. You will may face some challenge. And I was talking about indentation, right? I will show you that. Okay, next is for loop. So first of all, I will show you indentation. If I will give extra space, suppose by mistake I will give extra space, it will break, it will not run. See that unexpected indent, it's very sensitive to indentation, and this red line is showing you that there is something wrong. Once you come here, it will show you unexpected indentation, so you have to fix it. If you will give one space less, it will again break. Suppose you will give like this one. Okay, it will break, it will not run. See that unindent does not match any other indentation level. This one is not neither matching with the beginning nor matching with this name. That's why it's failing. That's why you have to match it properly like this, and it will run. Okay, perfect. Next one we have is for loop. What is for loop? If I have to repeat something, suppose display greeting, I have to do 5 times. What I can do, I can type 5 times, 2 3 4 5. I can do that, right? And then I will run my code and it will do, right? 5 times I can do, but suppose I have to repeat something 500 times, then I have to copy paste 500 times. No, that's not good. We have a for loop where you can decide how many times you want to repeat something, and I will show you that. So I will remove all this. We'll put a print for loop. So for, we'll put some variable name, suppose for counter in range, and put some range. Range is like 1 comma 10. Okay, put colon, and then you will do whatever you want. Suppose I will call this display grading 10 times. Okay, I will remove from here. I will even remove this line. I am calling that function, and it's not mandatory to call the function from for loop. You can do anything also, anything else. I will show that also. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm calling display greeting 10 times. Basically it will not run 10 times, it will run 9 times only. I will show you why. So let's run it first. Okay, you don't have to count this. I will do one more thing so that you don't have to count. I will put one more thing here. In the beginning I will put the counter value so that you will understand. Okay, so I would say print counter, counter, close this, counter. Okay, I am printing the value of counter, and then I am printing the this display greeting message. Okay, I am saving it, and we will run it. You will understand the difference. See this, number 1 is printed, then welcome Geeta to HDFC Bank. Number 2 is printed, welcome Geeta to HDFC Bank, and keep on coming down. You will find it till 9 only. See that 10 is not there. Why? That is the behavior of Python. When you give a range, the first number is inclusive. It starts from 1. but the last number is exclusive. It will not go to the last, it will go to the second last. So in this case, it will go till ninth. If you will put a number 5, it will go till fourth, like this. In that case, you will check and it will go till fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometime you don't want to give a range starting number and this number. In that case, you can simply give only one number, like this, range 5. In this case, what it will do, any programming language, whether it's C, C++, Java, Node.js, Python, Ruby, Rails, anything, every programming language, numbering starts from 0. If you are not giving the first number, it will start from 0 and it will go till the second last. In this case, it will go from 0 till 4. See that, starting from 0 and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's a doubt question from Manju. Let me check it out on the chat. If it's 0, 10, will it print 10 times near? Yes, absolutely. It will start from 0 and at 9. So ultimately becoming 10. Okay. If you want to check it out, I will remove display greeting. I will remove that. Okay. And I will do one thing, a print counter plus my name, right? The variable. So I will put str. No, no, my name is already str. Name. Counter we have to put str. Otherwise it will not print str. Okay, and in between I would like to put something, otherwise it will display one and without any space it will display nearest. Let me show you first, you will understand. See that, 0 nearest, 1 nearest, 2 nearest, 3 nearest, 4 nearest, there is no space. I would like to add something in between. I will put single quotes and whatever you want to put, like this. Okay, so I will run this. You can see now 0 and then whatever I have put in between, nearest, 1 nearest, 2 nearest, 3 nearest, 4 nearest, like that. Okay, so this way you can have a for loop so that you don't have to repeat your code. Tomorrow, if I have to just change the number, it will become 50. Let's do this. And it will display. It will start from 0, will go till 50. If you want to specify any range from beginning or something, suppose I would like start with 40. Okay. It will start with 40, it will go till 50. I mean, it will go till 49. See this? Starting from 40, going till 49. Okay. So that's all about for loop. And I think that's all about today's class. We just covered some basic concepts today. Tomorrow we'll be covering advanced concept about Python. So before we do advanced concept, definitely you should be clear on the basic concept. Otherwise, it would be difficult for you to learn those concepts. So if you haven't, I mean, done the old classes of AWS, that is still okay. But at least whatever we did today, try to do this before tomorrow's class. Then only you will be understanding. Similarly, after tomorrow's class, we will do something on PySpark. And for PySpark also, you have to be like whatever I'm doing today and tomorrow, you have to do it. Then only you will understand. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for you to understand that. Okay. So that's all about today's class. We talked about Python installation, which is quite easy. You can install any code editor, but VS Code is quite common, quite easy to use, and free of cost available. Simply go to Google and download VS Code, install it, and create a single folder anywhere, wherever you like. Create a simple file with py. Start writing your code, print statement, variable, function, whatever we did, right? Try that. In case you will face any issue, I am always here to help you.